Hi, I want to give a couple quick updates on the development of the MD-11's FMS here. I've done a lot of work on this the last 2 months, and it should all be about ready. Currently, it's only up in the Git version. It's not going to be released to FG add-on quite yet. There's still some testing I need to do before I'm ready to push such a big update out. The first thing is just a quick reminder that in the FMS on the wait init page that there are shortcuts built in, so you don't have to go through the various menus and like the CG outlet to find this information. You can actually enter it via a shortcut. And the reason that's important is because the system display no longer knows this information by magic. You now have to give the computer enough info to calculate it. So in this case, if we go ahead and enter our block fuel here, then we can just click these buttons here and it will automatically pull the value that you need to enter. That doesn't happen in the real airplane, it's just a little shortcut implemented like that. So just a quick reminder about that. Next thing I'll do is just load the takeoff panel state here real quick. And you'll notice that you saw the yellow box before, but now we have a green indication. That's because the stabilizer position required for takeoff is now computed. You can see on the takeoff page here, it's set there at 5.4. And on the system display, you can see that it's now green in the middle of that band for 5.4. So regarding the takeoff data, there's a couple important things to note. You'll see that on the PFD we do not have a pitch flight director bar, that the autopilot indication is amber, aka unavailable, and that it has dashes for the V speeds. And this is because the system no longer knows the V2 speed automatically. And without a V2 speed, the takeoff guidance cannot work because it targets V2 and then V2 plus 10 after you rotate. So that guidance is not available if the system cannot know what the V2 speed is. So if you take off in this condition, you'll be pressing autoflight like crazy and nothing will happen, and you'll be messaging me, Josh, what the hell is this? I can't engage my autopilot. Well, it's because it's amber, it's not available, you haven't completed the information in the FMS required. I do want to point out that if you did take off in such a state, if you kick the FMS out of the takeoff phase, the autoflight will become available. And to do that, all you have to do is manually transition to climb thrust or altitude hold by pushing or pulling that knob. And when you do that, it forces the FMS into the next phase, and then the autoflight becomes available. However, I want to warn you that if you don't fill out the weight information, you're not going to have your stall speed information available on your speed tape. So, however, the alpha-based stall protection is still available, so it will stop you from stalling, but just be aware that you're not going to have those stall bars on the bottom of your speed tape. So let's talk about how you can actually get that information available. Now, one thing you do have to do is enter in a to from airport. So I just spawned here at a random airport, and we'll just fly to the airport that's next door. We'll enter that in here, and we have to do that so that the system knows the elevations of your takeoff and landing airport. That's important for several systems, including pressurization, as well as the phase logic and performance computer. Cruise level, we're just going to do 5,000 feet. You just put your flight level in there. And then we'll go ahead and for our cost index, we'll just also enter 50 just for now. Reminder that all of this logic is a work in progress. There are still things I need to fix on the display. Some of the text needs to be fixed slightly, and some of the logic also isn't quite done yet. So this is all a work in progress, but wait init page. Quick note that if you use a panel state to start the aircraft up, the panel state system will fill in this information automatically. You don't have to go back and do it. A panel state is designed to literally be a one-click solution, so basically it will fill in as much information as it can. Obviously it doesn't know the route, so it can't put that in for you, so you don't do that. And on the actual takeoff page here, you can see it also through the flap setting that it sets in automatically. In this case, let's go ahead and set a flex temperature. Now on the EAD, you can see we have our takeoff limit there. And in the previous versions, the flex was available via an applet. That was unrealistic. It's now gone. Now you do it through the FMS. So let's say I wanted flex 55. You can click that there. Boom. And there's flex 55. And it recalculates the takeoff EPR there for our throttles. Next thing we need to do is enter the OAT. Now, the manuals say don't just pull the value from the EAD, and that makes sense because this is TAT, not OAT. However, when you're stopped on the ground, they're the same anyway. It wants you to pull it from the ATIS, but honestly, it's flight sim. We don't really care where it comes from, so we'll just enter that. And then slope and wind. Don't enter that until you've selected a runway. Runway selection doesn't work in the FMS yet. That's coming. So for now, you have to enter this manually. We're just going to use zeros for these values. And when you do that, it will give you all the correct speeds computed. So we'll go ahead and start confirming these, and what you'll see is when we confirm that V2, it's going to cause all the information here to pop up. And as you can see, we got a white box around the autoflight system. There is V2 speed confirmed, and the pitch flight director is now available. So that's essentially what this last update is going to change in terms of actually using it. The update should be stable soon, and when that happens, it will be pushed out to FG add-on for everyone to use, but until then, it's only going to be available on the Git version. So I hope you're all having a good weekend, and hope you enjoy this update.